Hi everyone, my name is Peter. Welcome to this YouTube tutorial. In this topic, we are going to discuss about the periodic table, and I have a rough sketch of the periodic table on the board, so you bear with me. If you have a copy, you can put it out and we move together. So the periodic table. So more than half of the elements known today were discovered between the 18th century and the 19th century. So during this time, chemists noted elements with similar properties, similar structures, and they grouped them according to how they reacted and how their radius went on increasing with similar properties. So on the periodic table, we have what we call a period. We have what we call groups. So a period is the horizontal row. So these rows represent that period. I've tried to draw at least 18 elements on the board. So this is the period, and we name them 1, 2, 3, 4, and so forth. Then the groups are the ones we count from the vertical row. So that's group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, group 6, group 7, and group 8. So we see that elements in group 1 almost have the same chemical properties. They have the same chemical reactions and products. So, but the more you go down, the atomic radius increases, the elements increase in size. So hydrogen is the smallest element known, and it is diatomic and it exists as a gas. And the more you go to the right, the more electronegativity increases, and also the more non-metal the elements become. So group 1 and group 2 are considered to be metals. So group 1 are called alkali metals. The reason why we call them alkali metals, because when they react with water, they produce an alkali solution. For example, when sodium reacts with water, we get sodium hydroxide and hydrogen. So sodium hydroxide is an alkali. Group 2 elements are called alkali earth metals. They also react with water to form an alkali solution, but the reason why they have earth on them is that they're most abundantly in the we mine them, we get them from the soil, so that's why they have the word alkali earth metals. Then the more we advance to the right, we have this group of elements called transitional elements. So these elements are transiting from being metals to non-metals, and they have special properties. One of the properties is that most of these metals form colored solutions or colored compounds, and also they have more than one oxidative state. So these elements are a bit kind of trickier. They move back and forth. They have very many properties. So that's why they put them under the transitional metals. So when we jump the transitional metals to go to group 3 members are called metalloids. So metalloids are like intermediate between the metals and non-metals. You know that the reason why we call these metals is because they conduct electricity, and non-metals are poor conductors of electricity. Then the metalloids are in between there. So they have intermediate properties of metals and non-metals. So from group 4 up to this side, all these are non-metals. And also we shall look at what we call during the reactions when these elements react, group 1 elements and group 2 and group 3 elements react by losing electrons. So they are qualified to be metals, whereas elements from carbon up to helium, up to group 8 are called non-metals because they react by gaining electrons. And I forgot to mention about this last group. These are the noble gases. So these gases in the last in the 8th column rarely react, so they are noble, they are inert. Whereas group 7 members are called halogens. So this we shall look more about halogens and the rest of the elements. We rarely talk about the non-metals unless somewhere where we need to. So therefore, this is the brief periodic table. So therefore, we're gonna look at how these elements react in our next chapter of molecules and iron. Thank you for tuning in. Catch you next time.